Ever wondered why your grandma suddenly started doing the floss dance at your cousin's wedding? Well, buckle up as we dive into the bizarre world of how trends catch fire. Picture this. There you are at a family gathering, and out of nowhere, grandma starts busting moves that would put teenagers to shame. It's a sight both hilarious and heartwarming. But how did this happen? How did trends leap from the screens of our phones to the living rooms of our grandparents? Now, let's trace the life of a trend, from its mysterious birth to its inevitable trip to the land of forgotten fads. All it takes is one brave soul who decides that wearing socks with sandals is the next big thing. The peculiar birth of a trend, where the mundane becomes magnificent and the ridiculous suddenly ravishing. Picture this. A lone figure at a fashion show, strutting down the runway with socks tucked snugly into sandals. The crowd murmurs, cameras flash, and just like that, a star is born, or at least a style star. But how does such a whimsical choice escalate to a trend? It often starts with someone influential, a celebrity or a social media wizard perhaps, who dares to don something different. They step out in public, paparazzi snap the look, and suddenly, it's splashed across social media feeds worldwide. Take the planking craze, for instance. One day someone thought, why not lie face down in unusual places? Fast forward and millions are mimicking this bizarre act, from park benches to perilous precipices, all for the gram. Or consider the inexplicable rise of the fidget spinner. Initially a tool for focus, it spun its way into the hands of celebrities, and voila, every child and their grandmother had to have one. It wasn't just a gadget, it became a symbol of cool. The role of influencers here cannot be overstated. With just a tweet, a post, or a public appearance, they can turn the most unexpected items into must-haves. And just like that, what started as a quirky choice becomes the next hot craze. Now imagine our sock and sandal pioneer gets spotted by a popular YouTuber. Overnight, it's everywhere. You see, the journey from obscurity to viral sensation can be as rapid as a cheetah chasing down a poor, unsuspecting gazelle on the savannah. One moment you're a lone soul sporting socks with sandals. The next, you're the face of a global movement, and not necessarily by choice. Social media platforms are like the jet fuel of the trend rocket. Take Twitter, for instance. It's essentially a giant whispering gallery, where a mere mention can reverberate through the digital corridors like echoes in a canyon. Then there's Instagram, the glossy magazine of the internet, where images of your trend can dress up and parade around, gathering likes as if they were going out of fashion. Let's not forget TikTok, where trends are born and bred like rabbits. Remember the ice bucket challenge? It started off as a quirky dare and exploded into a global phenomenon with celebrities, politicians, and even your next-door neighbor dousing themselves in icy water. All for a good cause, mind you. Or what about those peculiar TikTok dances? One day you're watching someone do a dance to a catchy tune, and the next thing you know, you're in your living room trying not to knock over the vase while you mimic moves that would perplex even professional dancers. The spread of these trends is as unpredictable as British weather. Today, it's sunny socks and sandals. Tomorrow, who knows? It could be wearing hats backwards or talking in rhymes. The digital world is your unpredictable oyster. And so, as the trend catches wind, it lifts off, soaring higher than a kite caught in a hurricane. Everyone wants a piece of the pie, or in this case, a sock in the sandal. From celebrities tweeting their bedazzled feet to influencers strutting down urban streets, the trend becomes inescapable. Before you know it, everyone from your best friend to your dog's Instagram account is hopping onto the bandwagon. At the height of its powers, our sock with sandals trend is the king of the fashion world. But what goes up must come down. Now imagine this. The trend isn't just a trend anymore. It's a cultural phenomenon. You stroll down the street and what do you see? Every man, woman and their dog sporting socks with sandals. It's not just fashion, it's a statement. A rather questionable one, but a statement nonetheless. And oh, the commercial spin-offs are a sight to behold. There are sock with sandals themed parties where the dress code strictly bans bare feet, or heaven forbid, normal footwear. We're talking about events where the best dressed awards go to the most outrageous sock and sandal combinations. Picture neon polka dots with leopard print sandals. It's a feast for the eyes, or perhaps more of an eyesore. Then, the themed merchandise hits the shelves. From limited edition socks claiming to be the ultimate sandal companion, to sandals with a built-in sock pouch, the creativity, or perhaps the desperation, knows no bounds. And let's not forget the cafes popping up on every corner, offering discounts if you shuffle in wearing the celebrated combo. Yes, you heard that right, a discount for fashion bravery. But as history teaches us, no trend wears the crown for too long. The sock with sandals saga, while strong, will inevitably make way for the next big thing. So, enjoy the reign while it lasts, fashion monarchs. Fast forward a year, and suddenly, those socks with sandals aren't feeling so cool anymore. It's a curious phenomenon, isn't it? One minute you're on top of the world, strutting down the high street like it's your personal runway, and the next, you're looking at your footwear, wondering if there's an unspoken community service sentence for crimes against fashion. So what sends a trend tumbling down from the heights of glory? Often, it's simply a case of everyone having too much of a good thing. Market saturation hits, and suddenly, what was once unique becomes as common as mugs complaining about the weather. It's like that one summer hit song that everyone plays until even the birds outside your window seem to groan at the intro. Then there's the relentless march of new trends, each vying for their 15 minutes of fame. As soon as the next big thing rolls in, yesterday's hot topic cools off faster than a cup of tea forgotten during a British soap opera marathon. Yet, amidst this cycle of rise and fall, there's a silver lining, the nostalgia factor. Just when a trend seems to have quietly retired into the "what were we thinking" part of our collective memory, it makes a comeback. Maybe it's the fond memories, or perhaps it's just the cyclical nature of fashion. But these relics find their way back into the limelight, dusted off, and ready to be ironically cool once again. Yet, like a phoenix, some trends rise from the ashes, ready to embarrass a whole new generation. So, from birth to rebirth, the life of a trend is a wild ride. Speaking of rides, don't forget to hop on the trend of subscribing to channels you love. Let's take a whirlwind recap, shall we? Trends pop up faster than a toast from a toaster, capturing hearts and feeds with a flicker of novelty. Then, like a rocket, they shoot up into the stratosphere of social media, basking in the glow of global hashtags and frenzied shares. But what goes up must come down. They peak, they thrill, and just like a cup of tea left out too long, they cool off. Yet in their twilight, they leave behind a sprinkle of nostalgia, ready to be meme-fied into eternity. Now, as we part ways with today's trend tale, why not make subscribing to this channel the next big thing? Join our trendy family and help us reach that fabulous 5K subscribers mark. Subscribe, and maybe, just maybe, we'll bring back planking. Or not. Cheers!